For today's project, we're going to start with some beginning sewing techniques for some of my younger students. So I have my yarn, I'm going to set that aside, and I'm going to start with a piece of cardstock. Right now my paper is horizontal. I'm going to fold it in half like I'm making a card. Now I have the fold along the bottom, and I'm going to use my hole punch, and this is something that is good to practice. I'm going to take my hole punch, I'm going to push it till it stops. Can you hear that? I'm going to punch along that side, and each time I'm pushing till it stops. And what that is doing is making sure that my hole punch is not too close to the edge. I'm going to try and evenly space these, but it's okay if there's a little bit of variation. You can see I'm trying to make them even. And I'm going to stop before I get too close to the edge. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I would say 6 or 7 hole punches along the edge is what you're going to aim for. Now I'm going to rotate my paper. Again, this is the fold. And I don't have to put any hole punches on this edge. This is going to be the top. What we're going to make is a little bag, something to carry things in. So I'm going to be sewing up the sides. So I'm going to just flip it over like this so I can do it again, same direction. Again, this is my fold. This is the opening. It's going to be the top. I'm going to stop right there. Try and space these nice and evenly out. Maybe I just have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on this side. That's okay. If I want to make it even, I might be able to get one more in there, but we want to be careful that we're not touching the edge. There you go, there's the first step. Looks like this. Fold is on the bottom, and I hole punched up both sides. Next, I'm going to get my yarn. So I don't need the whole skein of yarn. I'm going to just pull. And I'm going to do about an arm's length. So if I pull this edge up to my shoulder and hold the other end in my fingers and do an arm's length, you can't see that I'm doing that, but you can see about how long this is. Again, this doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going to go ahead and cut that, set my yarn off to the side, share with a neighbor. So I have my yarn like this. Now to make things easier, I'm not going to try and tie a knot. So I'm going to open this up, and I'm going to get a piece of tape, and I'm going to put my yarn right here on the center, and I'm going to tape it down. I'm going to just make sure it's nicely attached there, so it's not going to slide out. Now I'm done with my tape. Now the next step is I'm going to go ahead, while it's open, I'm going to put the yarn through that. So now it's on the outside, and I'm going to close this. And what I'm going to do, there's different stitches. So I'm going to just keep that. I'm going to put it, oops. Now this is going to be a problem if we don't use a needle. I did not bring a needle home with me to practice with. I forgot. So I have big plastic needles that we can use at school. Another thing that you can do to make this easy to put your yarn through the holes is to just tape the end. So I just kind of put that yarn on there. I'm going to fold my tape, and then I'm going to just kind of roll it up. I still have a little piece of tape there to hold it. It's kind of similar to what you have on the end of a shoelace. So this will just kind of help me a little bit going through the holes. And it's okay if this is a little messy, as long as this is smaller than the opening of the holes. So my yarn is now through that opening. I have a little piece of tape on there. I'm going to close it. And I'm going to just pull this down so it's out of the way, and I'm going to put this through the hole punch. I'm going to pull it all the way through. And I think I'm going to make sure that my loop is on the side here. This is called a whip stitch. So now I've got a loop, And I'm gonna just go back on the top again. I'm gonna gently pull all the way down, and my stitches are on the side. And this will just make a nice decorative design for us with our yarn. Kind of, put that through the hole, go underneath, gently pull. This is what it's looking like. I'm going to go back through the hole gently. So each time I'm just kind of going down, pulling it through. If it's a little loose, I can go back to this one and just kind of even those out. And when I get to this last one, this side is done. Now I want to have a handle for my bag. So I'm going to leave a little bit of extra yarn here, and I'm going to come over to the other side, and I'm going to start going down. Okay, my string was a little too short, so I just tied a knot with a new piece. Now I'm going to come over here because I want to have enough yarn here to have like a handle. So it was a little too short, so I tied another piece of yarn on. And now I'm going to pick up my cardstock. And again, I'm going to go down, pull it through, and I'm going to stop this time. I don't want to pull it tight. I want to leave my handle, so that's about the length I want for my handle. So I'm going to stop there, go to the next hole, and now I'm going to have that snug there, but I'm not going to pull so hard that I lose my handle for my bag. Down, all the way to the back, down, all the way to the back, down, all the way, down, all the way, down. And this time, I'm going to practice tying a knot. I think this is an important thing for my students to learn. So I have my thread here, my last loop. I'm going to go like this, and I'm going to put that through. See how I have a loop? And I'm going to put it down through the loop. And I'm going to pull it once, and I'm going to go under that again. Now I have a knot. Now this could be something that you could put some beads on. And we could tie a couple knots to hold the beads on, or you could make it just like a little fringe, or you could just cut it right there. I don't have any beads here, so I'm going to cut it right there. And now I have the bag with a handle. It's like a little pouch, so you can put things inside here, which is something my students always love to do, like make these little bags to carry things in. And of course, you're going to want to take some markers or some crayons and things and put your name on there and decorate it. This part is easy because you can draw whatever you like on your bag. So you can add some designs and details to color in. I'm just going to make a little abstract doodle and color that in later. Remember, I've got two sides. Got my name on there, so I'm going to just add a playful design. And now I have a little bag that I can use to carry my art papers home, put little notes in. And we've learned a basic stitching, a whip stitch, and we tied a knot on the end. And again, if this knot is too hard, you could always just use a piece of tape again, like how I started, just to make things easier to get started. I taped it on the inside. At this point, it's stitched shut, so it would have been hard for me to tape it on the inside, but you can always put a little tape on the outside to fasten that if tying the knot is something that you still need to practice with. So there is my little stitched bag.